And there's the windshield. So, let me get this out of the way. Then we'll work on the back glass and get it done. Okay, what we're doing is taking the glass out so we can finish our rust repair on this. Long overdue, I might say. This car should have been a lot farther down the road than other cars in my shop, but it didn't happen, so here we are. Now, taking this glass out is a lot easier than new cars, and the reason I say that is because, come on, it doesn't have urethane glue in it. It's got a thing called butyl. So the butyl cuts really easy compared to urethane glue, as you can see. And this has a built-in antenna to get around that fucking thing. But you can see the lamination coming off, and I'll show you that here in a little while. And we still got to get the back glass out on top of that. We're just doing what we can do to get this thing done. And that's all we can do. The reason I'm taking the glass out is because if I call a glass company to come do it, they're going to charge a lot of fucking money. So that's why we're getting it out ourselves. And there's the windshield. So let me get this out of the way. Then we'll work on the back glass and get it done.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
I normally would not work with glass. I'm not a glass guy, and I don't like messing with glass. But on these old cars, taking them out is pretty easy. So, and as you can see, the knife just glides right along. It's because this is butyl back here. This is not urethane. Now, it might be urethane. No, it's not. Look at that. That's good for us, though, because it makes the job a lot easier to take out. This is a very nervous job, taking glass out of cars. I don't like it. I never did, and I never will. I can tell you that. The butyl has glued itself back together. It's go ahead and run our knife back down through here one more time. You can see where I cut it once already. This corner. Okay. That should be that side. This is a handy little tool to have if you take glass out. Once again, I'm not a glass expert. I never claim to be. I just want to get this out. Okay, let's try that again. Still. This fucking beetle's something else. It's a real mess getting this shit out. I can tell you that right now. Let's go ahead and pull it this way. What the fucker? There we go. Come on. Motherfucker, man. And we got rust, people. We got rust. Not bad, but we got rust. God. Look at that. Okay, we need to be very careful with this one. This is tempered. Tempered glass. Alright. Okay, we got the glass out. I got to clean out the gaps real good. And then once I get that done, we're going to see how much rust we actually got in the car. Now, while I got the glass out, I'm going to go ahead and talk to the owner and see if he wants to replace his package tray, maybe put some new speakers in, and then possibly, maybe, well, this piece of chrome's broke. Actually, that's plastic. We could probably glue it back together, hopefully, but we'll take care of that. See if he wants to repaint his chrome, and then, of course, he'll have to replace this bead that holds the headliner in and the sail panels. So we still got a lot of work ahead of us. Even though the body work's done, we still got rust to repair. We got to clean all this out, prime it, take all these clips off, put them in a bag. That's going to take several hours just to do that on the front and the back glass. And then once we get that done, we can move forward. Well, I think we're going to get lucky. The back window doesn't have any rust in it. All it's got is some minor surface rust that we can actually fill in with some PC7. I'm going to go over that with you here in a little while. The Dutchman panel here, it looks really, really clean. Let me get this all cleaned up. We're going to take a look at it, and I'll show you what's going on. So everywhere that PC7 is going to be applied, I have to prep that up. And on these corners, we're going to use this die grinder tool to get that all prepped and get rid of that surface rust. And when you're using a tool like this, you want to be very careful not to burr off those little metal tips that are sticking out that hold the chrome trim on. You have to be really careful. Okay, so I just got done removing all this old butyl that's 50, 60 years old. You can see what it does to your roller lock discs when you use those to remove it, but that's really the only way to get it clean. So if we look right here, you can see there's some minor rust. I still got to do a little bit of cleaning up here. Now, one more thing we're going to do to the back window and the front window area. once I fix all the rust, I get everything repaired, what we'll do is we will go ahead and paint this ledge. We're going to paint the lip right here. We'll paint that with POR15. We'll get that painted with POR15, and then even on the edge right here, we'll go ahead and put some POR15 on the edge. We'll just paint this whole valley, make sure that that is encapsulated in POR15 and all the rust is killed and gone. So if you look right here, we got our PC7, part A and part B. We're going to mix up equal amounts of this and mix it together. A lot of people say you can use JB Weld and do the same thing. Well, I think this is 1 or 3 or 5 steps above JB Weld. This is literally made for this, whereas JB Weld is an engine or mechanical type glue. This is not. This is more of a repair glue for other stuff besides a mechanic. Very good stuff, people. I've been using this for 40 years. And we did clean out the front windshield, and we found out that the front windshield, there's only one rust spot on it, and I'm going to have to spot weld that in. It was up on the roof. I think I showed it to you, that little spot. But other than that, somebody actually caught that rust, caught the leakage of the water early, and they urethane the windshield in there. So if you're looking at what you're seeing here, we got our POR15. We got our PC7 mixed up and ready. Okay, and that's what it looks like when it's all mixed up. You can see that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take my PC7, and we're going to start putting it in, and I'm pressing it in there. I'm pressing it in as hard as I can to get it to go in to the edge. And at this time right now, I really don't care what it looks like. I'm just trying to get it to fill in the crack and the rot. Fill in the spots that we need to fill in. And I noticed on this edge right here, actually that cleaned up pretty good. All it is these 2 corners, that's it. Just the 2 corners, and the rust is fixed. So let's get up to the front and see if there's anything up there that we need to do. So like I said, whoever caught this in time, what happened is it must have been leaking water and going down on the floor right here. So they had the windshield guy come over and urethane that in. And that's how we're going to be putting these windows back in. We're going to have them urethaned in with modernized glue instead of using butyl. Butyl is pretty much out right now. We're not using that. So this really looks really nice. Even this side is really clean. And all we got to do is put some POR15 around it to protect it. And I think it's a done deal. So we're moving forward. We're getting the car done. And we're doing it right. There's no cutting corners on it. We're not going to throw it all together and put it in the trash. We're doing a professional job for the guy. And we're making it a professional restoration. This is a big job. We took the body off of the car. We've completely restored the whole frameworks on it, underneath the car. We want to make sure that this thing's done proper. We want to keep on going with the job that we're doing. I will talk to the owner about the dash. Now that the windshield's out in the back glass, I want to see if he wants to replace the dash pad in the car and possibly the package tray in the back. This is the time to do it if he wants to do it and get it done. So we'll talk to him about that and see what he wants to do. But I'm going to POR15 around these windows. Once that PC7 dries, it takes 24 hours to dry properly, and then we're going to go ahead and move forward. got this one cleaned out. That looks really nice right there. And if you look at it, you can see that the PC7 works really, really good and does wonders by repairing your rust. The rust that was over here from the deterioration and leakage is gone. So we got a section right here we got to clean up. We're going to repeat our process using our die grinder tool. And then over there, that was the worst spot. Let's take a look at that. So if we look right here, this is the worst one that we had. So let's clean this one up and see how it turns out. And it feels good as new. You can't even tell that we replaced anything or did any work to it. And that'll last the lifetime of the vehicle as far as the owner owns the car. Look at that. Same situation over here. This is where the water ran down. It ran down from the top and then just settled in here. We're going to go ahead and clean that out. Same way, same deal. Just like that. Look at that right there. We're going to go ahead and take a piece of 36 grit, sand that down. Clean that edge off really good. Just like new. Can't even tell. Well, I wasn't planning on taking all the interior out, but we don't have a choice because we have to take the side panels off to get 2 screws out of some molding that is on the edge that we have to remove. And another thing is I found out that there was a rat's nest back here, which is common. So we got to remove this door panel from the vehicle and take it all off. Let's see how this is on. I guarantee you that's fucking screwed on there probably. I gotta take all this off. You can see this comes out now. So let's see what's back here and work on getting that off. And yes, there is some little screws in here that I gotta take off to get this thing out. I would hate to be an assembly line worker and have to put all these together. So, yeah, to get the door panel off, we got to remove the back seat. Then we got to remove these filler panels with the armrests and ashtrays. Then we can finally take the door panel out. And always remember one thing: you want to bag and tag everything. Very important. Very, very important. Bag and tag. So, let's see here. Is that screwed down? That's screwed on there right there. The door panel is screwed on. So we'll take that off. And that's what I'm talking about. If you want to paint the outside of the car right, and when I'm saying right, I'm talking about this trim right here. There is a little screw. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's a little screw right here that has got to come out before this trim work can be snapped off of here. And the only way to remove that is to take these inner door panels off, because this goes on before this. And in reality, which we won't be doing, this piece of trim right here actually goes on before the glass goes in. Alright, it's like a layer. You got this, this, and then this. Now here's another piece that we got to remove, and this piece here, and these have to be replaced. Once we remove them, they're going to be old and rotted. So we will be replacing that. And this is what leads into a fucking domino effect of restoring one of these cars. Now here's the trim that holds the headliner in, and we don't want to mess with that. We want to make sure that we keep it intact. We don't want to break it as we pull it off because we have to reuse this. This is green that matches the car. And if you look right there, there is the trim that goes around the back glass. And then this is other trim that goes on the vehicle as well for the headliner. So we want to keep that, and we'll clean it up to put it back in. But anyway, to paint the car properly, and you can see what I'm talking about right here. All right, we want to make sure we get up under this rubber, and I'm sure the owner wants to replace this rotted out seal that we have here. This has got to come off. Yeah, both sides, you got it. You got it. And if you look close right here where my finger is right there, that's where that screw's at. So I'm going to take my... Actually, you know what? That's not a screw. That's a... Okay. Let me see here. Actually, the screw is right here behind this rubber seal is where it's at. It's not right there. So we got to get our screw gun in here without dropping our fucking flashlight. I got to get that around there, and then so once we took that screw out, now we can concentrate on getting our rubber out of here, and I'll show you this as soon as I get it out. And hopefully, there it is. There shouldn't be any more screws on it. And since this is a 71 Chevelle, the trim goes all the way up like that. I got to dig that out, but this is our trim. But let me show you the screw. You can see it right there, and there it is right there. So we're going to keep that screw. We'll get it out of here and put it with our parts. And yeah, it looks like this was actually screwed in all the way down. Look. So we're going to have to dig in there and get them screws out to put this one back on. That's the only problem I hate about these 71 Chevelles or this style, body style, is that this back trim is a pain in the ass. Alright, now that we got the car all gutted out, we got all the trim out of the vehicle, door panels, seats, everything else. What we're doing now is I got Minnie over there sanding around all the edges where the felt channel window scraper was, and then around the edges of the door jambs. And what I'm doing, this is epoxy primer. We put this on her to protect the car when we first got it here and stripped it down. I don't know if you remember that, but we didn't want it to start surface rusting, so I went ahead and put a good coat of epoxy primer on it. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking this block that I made, and I made this out of packing material from auto body parts. And what I'm doing is I am scuffing down this epoxy primer very lightly, because epoxy primer is not made to be sanded. And here's a good example I can show you. I'm getting the rough stuff with 80 grit. But if you look real close right there, you can see how epoxy primer gums up. And if you continue to sand it with dry sandpaper like this, and even wet sandpaper does it too, what'll happen, it'll keep continually gumming up, and then it'll put deep scratches and gouges in your epoxy primer. So you want to be quick, you want to be fast and efficient, and sand it very lightly. Don't use a lot of pressure when you do it. So it looks like Minnie just got done with this door jamb, I guess. Did you get this right here? Yeah. Okay, so this is where the edge was. Where, did you go all the way up here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where the edge was that had our window scraper screwed to it. Now on these Chevelles, if you look right here, and I think I already showed you this, it's all screwed on. It doesn't have clips in there. So we'll have to literally remove this window to put the new stuff on. But for right now, I just tore it off. And then Minnie came back and sanded this. And it feels pretty good. Right here's a little rough, but we still got to sand the door jambs anyway. So that'll be fine. And then we're going to go ahead and do this right here. We'll close the door and then we'll prime the whole car. And then once we get everything primed, then we will remove the doors, and then Minnie will meticulously sand the inside of them, get them ready, and then the door jamb itself. Now, this is a real crucial situation I want to show everybody. This is where our drip rail molding goes on. It's very important to keep minimal paint on this. Now, what you see right now is epoxy primer. We're not going to go ahead and prime that with 2K primer, because what happens is this will build up very, very thick. And when you go to put your molding back on, it will not clip on. It'll want to pop off, you'll dent it and ruin it. And then that way, our molding will pop on with ease and it'll look really, really beautiful. So remember that as well. I also noticed that the drip railer section inside this car is very clean. We don't have to add seam sealer to it. It's still in good shape and everything looks good. Well, I was getting ready to prime this the other day. I had it all taped off. I had it all ready to mix the primer, spray the primer, get it in paint ready primer, and then I came across this little section here as I was cleaning up the epoxy primer, and we found rust right there. I didn't realize that was rust. I thought it was just surface rust, but I kept grinding and grinding, and it turned out to be a rust hole. And if you look right there, you can see this is not just surface rust, it's literally rusted through. So what we got to do is we got to remove this section, we got to add on to it, do our final body work, and then once that's done, we should be able to go ahead and apply our full 3 wet coats of 2K primer and get this thing in paint ready stage.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.